My beautiful, courageous Leo souls, gather close and let your magnificent hearts be still for just a moment. Welcome back to Cosmic Wisdom, your sacred space for hearing the celestial whispers that guide your soul's journey. If you have found your way to this message at this exact moment in time, I want you to feel deep within the very core of your being that this is not an accident. This is a divine appointment. Pause with me. Before we venture into the heart of this great mystery, find a space where you can truly be present. Take a deep, intentional breath in, feeling the golden light of your own power gathering within your lungs. Hold it for a count of 3, and as you exhale, release every doubt, every fear, every voice that has ever told you to be smaller than you are. Let your royal shoulders relax. Let your heart, that brilliant and radiant sun of your inner universe, open to receive a truth so profound it is destined to change everything. A powerful, irreversible transformation is making its way to you, and not everyone in your kingdom will be ready for the magnificent being you are about to become. Have you been feeling it? A sacred restlessness in your spirit? A growing dissatisfaction with the roles you have been playing, the stages upon which you have performed? Perhaps you have felt a subtle yet undeniable pull away from certain people's situations, or even the reflection in the mirror that no longer feels like the real you. My dear Leo, this is not a passing mood. This is the first tremor of a monumental metamorphosis. The cosmos is sounding a summons, a call for you to awaken to a new level of your own sovereignty, and it is aimed directly at the heart of your soul. If you can feel the deep resonant truth in these words stirring in your bones, if your spirit is roaring in recognition, then I invite you to make a sacred pact with your own becoming right here, right now. Go down to the comments, and as a powerful declaration to the universe type, I am ready for the truth within me. See this not as a simple comment, but as the moment you claim your throne. And if you have not yet joined our pride here at Cosmic Wisdom, press that subscribe button as a promise to yourself to continue walking this path of awakening with us. We have so much to journey through together. Are you ready, my magnificent Leo? Because what I am about to share with you is not just a simple astrological prediction. It is a revelation about a crucial, life-altering turning point. In the moments to come, we will walk together through the very cosmic energies that are triggering this shift. We will illuminate how it will manifest in your day-to-day life, and most importantly, I will share the sacred wisdom of how you can consciously and majestically lead this evolution, rather than being swept away by the currents of change. This transformation you see is not optional. It is already written in the stars and has been activated within your very spiritual DNA. The only choice you truly have is whether you resist it creating unnecessary struggle and drama, or whether you allow the cosmic river to carry you to an entirely new dimension of authenticity, creative power, and soul-deep fulfillment. What makes this moment in time so incredibly potent for you, beautiful Leo, is a rare and sacred conversation happening in the heavens. For the first time in decades, your ruling celestial body, the glorious sun itself, is engaged in a powerful dynamic alignment with Pluto, the planet of deep alchemical transformation, and Uranus, the great awakener and bringer of sudden revolutionary change. Imagine this, your own inner sun, the very source of your light. Your creativity and your identity is receiving direct transmissions from the Lord of the Underworld and the God of Lightning. This is not a gentle nudge. It is a cosmic command to evolve. This celestial combination is unlocking dormant chambers within your heart, activating aspects of your true essence that may have been hidden for years or perhaps even lifetimes. That innate, glorious desire you have to shine, to lead, and to be recognized is about to be put to the ultimate test. You see, you are being asked to shift your source of light. For so long, you may have sought your brilliance in the reflection of other people's eyes, in their applause, in their approval. But now, the universe is asking you to find that light within. You will begin to see the undeniable truth of your relationships, your career, and your life's stage. You will finally understand which connections are truly basking in your warmth and which have simply been draining your energy, masquerading as loyalty while feeding on your light. Are you prepared to face these truths, even if they challenge the very foundations of the kingdom you have so carefully built around you? Astrologers and mystics alike are watching this celestial configuration with a sense of awe. This is not a common occurrence. The Sun, your ruler, forming such a dynamic T-square with Pluto and Uranus, creates what can only be described as a transmutation portal. This is a rare window of opportunity where your entire vibrational frequency can and will be raised to a higher, more purified octave. Think of it as a divine upgrade for your soul. In ancient wisdom teachings, the sign of Leo has always been understood as the archetype of the sovereign, the divine child, the heart of the zodiac, who learns their most profound lessons through creative self-expression and the reflection of their light in the world. Now, with the fiery energy of Mars transiting through a powerful sector of your chart, a new kind of courage is being forged within your spirit. It is the courage to place your own soul's truth above the desire for external applause. It is the courage to disappoint others if it means you can finally be true to yourself. When the Sun, Pluto, and Uranus engage in this celestial dance, all the social masks we wear begin to crumble. For Leo, this is particularly profound. The mask of the eternally strong leader, the mask of the entertainer who is always on, the mask of the generous king or queen who never shows a moment of vulnerability. These masks are becoming unbearably heavy. The veil is being lifted, allowing you to see with breathtaking clarity who in your life resonates with your authentic, radiant soul and who is merely attached to the persona, the performance you have perfected over the years to please the crowd. Take a moment and reflect. Have you noticed, perhaps over the past few weeks or months, a subtle but persistent shift in your relationships? Have you felt a growing discomfort with certain people, a feeling that can only be described as wearing a costume that is now 2 sizes too small? That inner friction, that holy agitation, is not something to be ignored or suppressed. It is the first sign of a profound recalibration happening at the very center of your being. As a Leo, you are born with a generous heart and a natural desire to bring warmth and joy to others. You often measure your worth by the happiness and loyalty of your pride. But for many years, perhaps even your entire life, you have been adjusting your brilliant frequency to match the expectations of others, sometimes dimming your own light so as not to intimidate, sometimes shining brighter just to win approval, but rarely, if ever, just being. But now the cosmos is issuing a divine intervention to this pattern. The tension you feel is the sacred clash between the magnificent sovereign soul you truly are and the character you have been playing to keep the peace, to maintain your audience. I want you to embrace this awareness with all your heart. It is the very first step toward your ultimate liberation. The truth is, your capacity to shine is a superpower, a divine gift to the world. but it becomes a gilded cage when it is wholly dependent on the validation of others. The discomfort you are feeling is not a signal that something is wrong with you. It is glorious, undeniable proof that you are awakening to a more authentic, more powerful, and more sustainable way of living and leading. Your choices are no longer being guided by the hunger for external approval, but by a deeper, more urgent need to honor the compass of your own heart. You are beginning to understand a truth so powerful, it will change the entire landscape of your life. Real love, real loyalty, and real recognition do not come from constantly performing for others. They come from living in unshakable alignment with the brilliant truth of your own soul. And so, my dear Leo, there is one essential soul-defining question you must now confront, and I want you to let it echo in the deepest chambers of your heart. What would you do? Who would you be? And what would you create if you were no longer afraid of losing the applause? This is not a temporary shift in the weather of your life. What is unfolding within you is not just a passing phase. It is a complete and total energetic recalibration. Your soul's vibrational frequency is evolving at a deep foundational level, and a transformation of this magnitude demands radical honesty, lion-hearted courage, and crystalline clarity. And here is the reality that few will have the courage to tell you: not everyone in your life, not every member of your current pride will be able or willing to adapt to the radiant, unapologetic person you are becoming. This evolution is not just a quiet inner journey. It will, and it must, affect the entire web of relationships you have so carefully woven over time. When you change this fundamentally, when your light shifts from a conditioned spotlight to an authentic sun, every connection around you is forced to recalibrate. Some people, the ones who truly love your soul, will rise with you. They will celebrate your newfound courage, and they will be thrilled to discover new ways to connect with the most authentic and powerful version of you. But others will resist. They may feel unsettled, confused, or even threatened by the new sovereign energy you are radiating. They were comfortable with the old you, the you they could predict, the you that needed them. This is not personal, my love. It is a universal law of energy. When your frequency shifts so dramatically, everything and everyone in your orbit must respond. They either tune into your new frequency, or the static becomes so uncomfortable that they must fall away. What makes this moment so historically profound for you, Leo, is that the cosmic gateway now opening before you is incredibly rare. An alignment with this specific level of intensity and purpose occurs only once every 84 years, when Uranus completes its long journey around the Sun. The last time a similar astrological configuration activated the collective in this way was in 1941, a time of immense global restructuring and redefinition of power and identity. Now that same transformative energy is being focused directly on you. This is a sacred initiation, and it will manifest in slightly different ways depending on when your soul chose to enter this lifetime. If you were born in the first decan of Leo, roughly between July 23rd and August 1st, this transformation will manifest most powerfully through a deep and radical re-evaluation of your core identity and your very definition of leadership. For your entire life, you may have carried the mantle of the leader, the one who initiates, the one who is the center of any project or group. But now, you will begin to notice a striking misalignment between the role of the leader you have been playing and the true calling of your sovereign heart. The discomfort you feel is your soul pulling you away from ego-driven leadership and into a new paradigm of heart-centered sovereignty. You are being asked to move from a place of look at me, to a place of I see you, and let us rise together. If your birthday falls in the second decan between August 2nd and August 12th, the focus of this divine transmutation will be on your belief systems, your grand visions, and your relationship with truth itself. You are a natural visionary, blessed with an expansive spirit that longs for adventure and meaning. But for too long, you may have adopted beliefs or followed paths that promised glory and recognition but left your soul feeling hollow. Now, long-ignored truths about your spiritual path, your creative purpose, and what you truly believe in will surface, demanding honest conversations with yourself and courageous decisions about your future. This is not meant to shatter your faith. It is meant to shatter the illusions that have kept you from your most authentic, expansive truth. And for my magnificent Leos born in the third decan between August 13th and August 22nd, this transformation will center directly on your actions in the world, your career, and the legacy you are building. You are a being of immense passion and drive meant to make a powerful impact. You will now see with undeniable clarity every place where you have compromised your authentic creative fire for the sake of status, security, or acceptance. You will no longer be able to ignore the deep soul cost of that compromise. The universe is calling you to move from impulsive, ego-driven action to deeply intentional, soul-led creation. This individualized activation across the three faces of Leo is not a random cosmic event. It is happening now because you and the collective of humanity have reached a level of spiritual maturity where you can finally hold the fire of this growth without being consumed by it. The universe never sends a transformation our souls are not ready for. It sends precisely the catalyst that is needed to push us beyond the gilded cage of our comfort zones and into the vast, open savanna of our next level of becoming. As these changes begin to accelerate in your life, and believe me, they will, your greatest challenge and your greatest power will be to not resist. Resistance only deepens the tension and magnifies the pain. It's like trying to hold back the sunrise. Instead, ask yourself this: when was the last time you truly allowed a glorious transformation to unfold in your life without trying to direct every scene, write every line, and control the final outcome? There is a deeper, more mystical reason why this powerful wave of transformation is targeting the heart of Leo at this specific moment in our planet's history. In every great collective shift, certain zodiacal archetypes are activated to embody and transmit the specific frequencies needed for humanity's evolution. Right now, in this critical era, where truth, authenticity, and heart-centered leadership are no longer just beautiful ideas, but are essential for our survival, the archetype of Leo is being called to evolve beyond its old pattern of seeking external validation. You are no longer here just to entertain the world. You are no longer here just to be a charismatic figurehead. Your sacred role is shifting. You are being called to become a living, breathing example of what true sovereign power looks like. A power rooted not in dominance or ego, but in the unshakable truth of your own heart. A radiance that doesn't need a spotlight because it is the sun. You are being asked to lead by example, to show the world that authentic relationships and creative fulfillment are only possible when we are willing to honor our own divine truth, even and especially in the face of discomfort or the risk of losing our audience. So for those of you in the first decan, the universe is calling for a profound alignment between your identity and your soul's purpose. For the second decan, the divine message is clear. Your most cherished beliefs must evolve or they will dissolve. And for the third decan, your public and professional self must now become a flawless reflection of the creative fire that burns within you, not just who others have paid or applauded you to be. You are not being punished, my beautiful Leo. You are being called up. This is your coronation. This is your time not to please, but to rise. As your inner transformation continues to gather momentum, you will begin to notice a natural and miraculous sorting process in your external world. Some of your connections will deepen in the most beautiful and unexpected ways, revealing new levels of honesty, loyalty, and soul-to-soul resonance. But others, my dear one, will begin to dissolve. Not because of a dramatic fight or a terrible failure, but simply because they no longer vibrate at the same frequency as the new authentic you that is emerging. They will fade not out of malice, but out of energetic necessity. These shifts are not tragic accidents. They are sacred recalibrations. The universe is lovingly clearing your space-making room for more aligned, more nourishing, and truly soul-level connections to enter your life. It is making space for a pride that loves you for your raw, not just for your purr. For those of you born between August 13th and August 22nd, this transformation is especially centered around your public identity and your deepest sense of life purpose. You are being summoned, perhaps for the first time in your entire life, to show the world who you truly are, without the polished social masks you have worn for acceptance, for politeness, or for the sake of keeping the peace in your kingdom. The days of editing your magnificent fiery soul to be more palatable for others are officially coming to an end. The energy that is now moving toward you and through you is not just personal, it is archetypal. You are being prepared to embody a new kind of royalty, one that transcends superficial charm and steps into the majestic realm of authentic, unshakable truth. For generations, the Leo archetype has been seen as the performer, the king, the star of the show. But this image is now evolving, maturing into something far more potent and necessary for our times. Your role is maturing into that of a model for sovereign integrity. You are being asked to demonstrate to a world starved of truth that real power is not the absence of vulnerability, but the presence of a courageous, open heart. Have you found yourself recently, almost without thinking, less inclined to say yes when your entire soul is screaming no? Have you noticed that your tolerance for imbalanced, one-sided relationships has plummeted to zero? These are not mere coincidences. These are the signs, the clear and miraculous evidence that your inner being is aligning with your highest evolutionary path. You are no longer satisfied with the cheap candy of surface-level praise. You are now seeking the deep soul nourishment of the real. To navigate this next glorious chapter of your transformation with the grace and majesty that is your birthright, there are 3 core principles I want you to carry with you like sacred jewels in the pocket of your heart. First is the practice of radical honesty with your own heart. Before you engage in any significant conversation, before you make a decision, before you step onto any stage, I invite you to create a sacred pause. Place a hand on your heart, close your eyes, and ask your soul honestly, what am I truly feeling right now? What does my heart actually want to express? This one small, consistent act of checking in with your inner sun will begin to dissolve the painful disconnect between your external performance and your internal truth. It is the very foundation of all genuine power and transformation. Second, you must release the need to direct other people's reactions. This may be the most challenging lesson for you, my dear Leo, but it will also be the most liberating. Your sacred task is not to control how others receive your truth. Your task is to speak it, to live it, to embody it with clarity, compassion, and consistency. What they choose to do with that truth is a part of their soul's journey, not yours. And paradoxically, my love, by releasing that desperate need to control the audience, you create an open space for authentic soul, deep connection to arise naturally for the very first time. And third, you must allow your relationships to evolve organically and without resistance. Not every connection, not every adoring fan is meant to be in your life forever. Some people will rise and grow with you, their own light amplified by yours. Others may fade into the background or step aside completely. Trust that this is all a part of a divine and perfect choreography. Every single change is serving a higher, more beautiful purpose in your soul's grand story, even if it feels like a loss in the moment. Those who have walked this path consciously and bravely often report that what begins as a period of emotional turbulence and confusion inevitably transforms into an era of unmatched clarity, depth, and creative freedom. What at first felt like a devastating loss reveals itself in time to be a sacred clearing. The universe is simply making room. It is clearing the stage for soul-aligned connections to make their entrance. Relationships that nourish you, honor you, and support the magnificent version of yourself you have always deep down been yearning to become. And here is the beautiful cosmic irony: by finally letting go of your lifelong compulsion to make everyone happy and comfortable around you, you will finally attract relationships that feel naturally supportive, deeply loyal, and almost effortless. No more pretending, no more walking on eggshells, no more exhausting performances, just mutual truth, mutual growth, and mutual radiant presence. Can you already sense it? Can you sense who in your life is responding positively to the subtle shifts already happening within you? Can you tell who feels more aligned and excited now that you are expressing yourself more authentically, and who perhaps is growing more distant, more confused, more critical? This moment, this video, this divine appointment marks only the very beginning of a profound 18-month cycle that will completely reshape how you relate to others, and far more importantly, how you relate to your own beautiful self. What started as a quiet, internal whisper for more authenticity will soon manifest as your undeniable external reality. You will begin to feel the dissolving of old identities, old roles you played, and old habits that no longer serve your highest and most brilliant path. For many of you Leos, this cycle will bring the blessed end of a long-standing and exhausting internal confusion, one that has tragically blurred the line between who you truly are and who others expect you to be. No more shape-shifting to fit in with the crowd. No more toning down your brilliance to make others feel secure. You are entering a bold and glorious chapter of self-definition, where your own sovereign energy speaks for you before you even utter a single word. And what it says is simply and powerfully, "This is who I am." The revelations you are receiving now are not random anxieties. They are sacred puzzle pieces, parts of a grander, more magnificent mosaic of truth, purpose, and clarity that is finally forming in your life. Every challenge, every uncomfortable truth that surfaces, every difficult conversation you must have is a necessary part of this greater picture. It is all leading you somewhere deeply meaningful. And yes, my beautiful, courageous soul, this path will test you. If you choose to resist, if you cling to the old masks and the old applause, the transformation will not stop. It will simply arrive in more disruptive and dramatic ways. Transformational energy, like the sun itself, cannot be suppressed. It will find its way to the surface, either through your conscious and willing cooperation or through external events that shake you into a state of awakening. The ultimate question is not if you will transform, but how. Will you walk this path with the grace and dignity of a true sovereign, or will you be dragged into your new kingdom, resisting every step of the way? What makes this journey so uniquely intense for you as a Leo is that it strikes at the very heart of your core identity, your relationship with yourself as seen through the eyes of others. For so long, your sense of self-worth may have been inextricably tied to how well you could manage perception, how much you were liked, how much you were accepted, how much you were admired. But this pattern, which may have once been a necessary survival strategy, has now reached its natural and sacred limit. It is time to transcend it. You are now being initiated into a higher, more potent form of radiance, one that is born from the authentic, unedited, and unapologetic expression of your magnificent soul. In the months to come, you will notice an increase in synchronicities. Pay close attention to the dreams that repeat themselves, to the messages that appear as if by coincidence in books or songs, to the people and events that seem to perfectly test the exact parts of you that are undergoing this transformation. These are not random distractions, my love. They are your soul's custom-designed curriculum. They are the sacred mirrors through which your new true self is being revealed to you. Leo, I want you to hear this in the deepest part of your being. You are not in a crisis. You are in an initiation. This is the sacred threshold of one of the most liberating, empowering, and significant phases of your entire evolutionary journey. And though the terrain may feel unfamiliar and even frightening at times, your soul has been preparing for this for lifetimes. You are not being asked to discard the glorious essence of who you are, but to purify it, to empower it, and to express it without apology, without reservation. You are not losing your balance. You are redefining it on your own terms, perhaps for the very first time. The transformation that is unfolding in your life is not a punishment. It is not meant to diminish you or humble you in a cruel way. It is a sacred release. It is a shedding of all the false, heavy layers you have carried for far, far too long. Parts of your true, radiant self that have long been buried beneath layers of politeness, fear of judgment, or self-doubt are now rising to the surface like golden lava. And yes, that rising can feel disruptive. But that discomfort is not a sign of your weakness. It is the undeniable sign of your emerging power. Leo, the discomfort that you may cause others as you step into this new phase is not something you need to apologize for. It is not your fault. It is the inevitable, natural ripple effect of a soul's awakening. You are stepping more fully into your truth, aligning more clearly with your divine purpose. And that powerful presence, that sovereign clarity, is deeply threatening to those who once depended on your hesitation, your silence, or your self-doubt to feel powerful themselves. Your increasing authenticity is no longer something others can easily manipulate or control. Your energy is sharpening your vision, is clearing. You are developing a profound sense of discernment and quiet inner strength. And for those who failed to truly see and respect you in your softness and generosity, your absence from their lives will eventually echo far louder than your presence ever did. You do not need anyone's permission to grow into this glorious version of yourself. You have all the wisdom, all the courage, all the light you need already burning brightly within you. You have always had it. Your natural intuition, your lion's heart, your incredible gift for seeing the unspoken truths in any situation. These are your divine tools. The universe has placed you upon this sacred path because you are ready for it. You are divinely equipped for it, and you are not for 1 second walking it alone. All around this beautiful planet, other Leo souls are experiencing this very same evolution. Together, you form an invisible golden network of transformation, a quiet and powerful revolution of the heart. This is not just about your personal change. It is about redefining what it means to be a Leo in this new era of consciousness. No longer the archetype that must sacrifice its authentic self to maintain peace and applause. Now you become the one who courageously demonstrates that real peace, real love, and real leadership are built upon the unshakable foundations of honesty, courage, and soul-aligned truth. The energy that is moving through you now is completely rewriting your lifelong understanding of balance and harmony. You are no longer here to maintain outer harmony by betraying the roar of your inner voice. True balance, you are now learning, begins within. It arises naturally, effortlessly, when you live in perfect alignment with the magnificent truth of who you really are. Over the coming months, the synchronicities will increase. I implore you to watch for them. Recurring numbers, symbols, animals, dreams, chance encounters, or sudden moments of breathtaking clarity. They are not random. They are celestial confirmations. Each one is a loving message from the universe whispering, "Yes, you are on the right path. Keep going." So the great question now becomes, what will you do with this newfound freedom now that you are no longer bound by the invisible chains of other people's expectations? Will you use it to finally speak your deepest truth, to choose a different path, to create from a place of pure joy rather than obligation, to love and be loved for who you truly are, not for the role you play? If this entire message has resonated with you, if you have felt a stirring deep within your soul, know that it is not a coincidence. It is a sign that you are perfectly in tune with the powerful currents of transformation that are moving through your life right now. Tell me, my beautiful Leo, have you already started to notice these shifts in your relationships? Are old draining dynamics beginning to fade away, and are new, more exciting ones beginning to form in their place? I would be so honored if you would share your experience in the comments below. Your story, your moment of truth, might be the sacred mirror that another soul desperately needs to see to find their own courage. And in the sacred act of speaking your truth, you will come to understand yourself more deeply too. And of course, make sure you are subscribed to Cosmic Wisdom if you haven't already. This is just the very beginning of a long and beautiful journey we will take together. I will be releasing specific guidance to help you navigate each new phase of this powerful transformational cycle as it continues to unfold. Please turn on that notification bell, because what is coming next is far too important for you to overlook. Understanding the sacred timing of these cosmic cycles is not just knowledge, it is power. It is the power to move forward consciously, to make divinely aligned choices, and to live fully and joyfully present in your own magnificent evolution. And always remember, you did not find this message by accident. You were led here because your brave and beautiful spirit is ready. This season of your life marks a profound turning point. Few will have the courage to meet it fully, but you, my magnificent Leo, you will. The change is already here. The question is, are you paying attention? Now let me ask you one final time. Are you truly ready to take off the old heavy masks? Are you ready to release the relationships, the roles, and the stages that no longer reflect the brilliant truth of who you are becoming. Are you ready to make sacred space in your life for connections that are built on unshakable truth and mutual soul-deep recognition? This is your divine invitation to stop shrinking, to stop performing. It is your time to step forward, to take center stage in your own life, and to finally be seen, celebrated, and loved for the magnificent, radiant, sovereign soul that you truly are.